Good morning again. This is Tommy Jordan from Twisted Networks. I thought I would take a minute and cover a feature that is really not something that's baked into Fieldwire, but it is a reason that many of us in both the low voltage and other construction specialty trades are looking for the right kind of tool to help do our bidding. If you don't know what a takeoff is, or you're not familiar with that term, it's also called a material quantity takeoff. For example, if I'm a network guy, I'm going to look at a set of plans here and say, I need to figure out on these blueprints how many data drops this building is going to need. Well, you do that by looking at the blueprints. And I'm going to go to a blueprint that's already done. Here's one I've already finished. But let's just use an example on one I haven't finished yet. So let's pretend that this is my network layer. I go into tasks, and I configure Fieldwire's tasking by clicking right up here, click the gear icon, and you set your tasks. This project calls for dual data drops, cameras, access points, and then it has a weird request for a data, coax, and an HDMI. So I just came up with a quick acronym, DDCH, because I just need to know how many of these there are. I will change all these statuses later, rearrange things, but I'm just in the bidding phase or deciding if I want to bid this job. So if I'm going to do this, I want to quickly count how many things are on these plans. Is it worth my time? Do I want to do a bid for this job? So now that I know that, here's a quick way to do takeoffs. I'm going to just come here, make a task, and Fieldwire is going to give it the default task name. You don't even have to mess with the title. Category for this is going to be dual data, and these are 2 data runs. Okay, fine. So now, as you can see, where did it put it? Fieldwire dropped that task somewhere. I can't see it now. There it is. Pardon me. I had to refresh my page. My browser was lagging. So I have made one of my tasks, and it was called dual data. Now I need to make another task because I also want to track cameras. I'll make a new task here, and this task is going to be cameras. Category, camera. Save. So now I've got dual datas and cameras. Let's just do one more. I'll duplicate, click, and I'll change this task to APs, and it's a WAP. So categories over here give you ways to break things down one way. Statuses give you another. If you're a Fieldwire user, you might be thinking, well, why did he set it as status camera and category camera? That seems stupid. It does seem stupid long term, but right now I'm just bidding, so I like the option to see multicolored icons. I know now in my own head that the way I do things, red icons are just general rough end data. Cameras are always green. APs are purple. I can't use purple because in Fieldwire, purple is a color for private markup, so I chose pink. So, all right, now I've made my task. So let's just assume that each one of these A's right here, this little shape, this is going to be a network drop. It's not, but let's assume that it is. You right-click your task that you met. Well, I tell you what, I'll move the first one. So I made my task, and there's where I need one. Right-click, hit duplicate, and hold the shift key down on your keyboard while you click. There's 1, 2, oh look, I'm doing basically a takeoff right here in Fieldwire by quickly just duplicating these tasks. Okay, so now I've done all my data drops. Let's say I need to do some cameras. I'm going to duplicate that. I want a camera here and here, maybe over here, here, and now I want to duplicate my access points because I have a lot of access points for this building. So I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I did 5 access points. Now let's assume that you went through an entire fairly large building floor plan. By the way, if you had to do something like duplicate this exact plan on another floor, you could just come right here, right click, copy, go to your next page like this, but I'll come back here. Actually, yeah, here's one, and hit paste. And now It's going to keep it in a bounding box. And I'll say, yep, that's what I want. And I want it right about there. Boom. I just duplicated all of those tasks really quickly. I'm on page 0076. So now I'm going to go to tasks. I'm going to filter by things on plan 0076. There it is. Lighting plan. Look what I just did. I now know I have 22 dual datas, 9 cameras, 11 access points. That's awesome. That's 44, and 9 is 53, and 11 is 64 runs, times my amount of that I charge per run. And I now have done a takeoff that broke out all my equipment and how many runs of each type. So if cameras are going to be Cat 6 riser and APs are going to be Cat 6 plenum, or they want all their data runs to be Cat 6A, but they only want APs to be Cat 6, you can break all this stuff down by any category on the left, or any status across the top, or by floor plan, just doing that quick duplicate task. So in my opinion, it's a great way to do a takeoff using a tool that does not really have a takeoff function built in. Hope you find it useful. Have a great day.